Christal Frost, everybody. Give it up. This is her first time doing stand-up. Yeah! Again, your nightmares.
Yes, that's my brother. I just hummed him. That's okay, because he said ass blood, and that's what gets me going, apparently. Yeah, my name is Christal Frost, and no, I'm not a cold weather stripper. It's a real name. Although with the polar vortex and everything, I did think about doing some stripping just to try to do something different with all the cold weather talk, because everybody's talking about the weather. Did anybody get really tired of people talking about the weather all day long? That was it. And Facebook is the reason that I know about the weather. I don't even have to look outside at all. I just have to read everybody's news feed and like, damn, it's cold outside. Well, okay, it's winter. You're in Michigan. Good luck. Funny. I do a news talk show, Cartman was right, and I don't know how I went from the Zone morning show. I was on the Rock and Roll Freak show, and I said things like, suck my ass, literally on a daily basis to my co-hosts, and now I'm talking about news and politics, which is another form of ass sucking, really. It's true. But no, seriously, I got my own show, and we're in northern Michigan, and it's kind of like AM radio is an old school format anyway. It's AM, okay? You can hear it power up. There's literally like a gerbil in the basement, and that's how it's like, okay, feed the gerbil, then the radio towers go up, and that's how it works. And so when I, as a woman, got my very own talk show, there was some flack that was taken. I was answering phones one day, and I took a call from one of the women who was about, I don't know, 1,100 years old, who called up and said, I don't know who this woman is on this talk show, but I'm not used to getting my opinions from a woman. Now, the fact that you're getting your opinions from anyone is really awful because they're your opinions. But you're a woman too, and is it like 1932? Did something happen? I'm just not used to listening to what a woman has to say. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. I'll try to tone it down with those crazy newfangled opinions. Like, we can vote now. Awesome. That's cool. I was really nervous about doing this because I talk professionally. It doesn't mean I do it well, but that's what I get paid to do. And I kind of was really nervous about it until one of the comedians tonight, actually, he's the headliner, he's the last comedian to perform, Smitty. Smitty reached out to me on the Facebook. It's the Facebook, because I'm on AM radio, so I have to call it the Facebooks. He reached out to me and he said, hey, you're going to do stand-up, you're going to be great. And I took this as an invitation to talk about it, right? Because if someone reaches out to you and says, hey, you're doing this, you're starting a conversation, right? I mean, is that what you think that's what's happening on the Facebook?
Right.
He sends you a message, he reaches out, and I'm like, cool. This is the moment to write a very long email about all of my insecurities and how I'm feeling so awful about this, and I think that people are going to laugh at me and not with me. And I may or may not pee my pants right on the stage. I could pass out. Who knows what's happening? I'm just going to write all of this down. It was a couple of inches long on your smartphone. You had to scroll to read this message. And so I send this out there, and I'm vulnerable. I'm insecure. And I put it out there into the world because I think that he's asking for my opinion, and Smitty's a friend. And I'm waiting for a response, and I get this. Fuck you. The Facebook thumbs up is taking something that's supposed to be the social media, which is already the most antisocial thing you can do in your life. social media is supposed to get you connected, but really what it is to give you a false sense of security that you are indeed a good person, because you scroll down and you say, oh, you're having a beer and a steak. Thank you for that picture. I like that. And then you keep scrolling. Oh, your child got all A's on his report card. I like that. Really, you don't care. You don't care about anything, but you feel better about yourself. So when they came out with the Facebook thumbs up, it's the epitome of laziness. Because I just poured my soul out to Smitty about all of the things I was worried about. And the guy can't even say, yeah, right, LOL, send. With the Facebook thumbs up, you're so lazy that you don't even have to click send. You actually just click the thumbs up and it goes out into the world. That's how lazy that is. That's how antisocial that is. So I called him out on it, and his excuse, you want to hear his excuse?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was watching Star Trek for like the 15th time, okay? He's watching Star Trek, and that's why I sent him this whole long message about how scared I am asking for advice, and he goes, what is that? Facebook is, I guess I kind of have a lot of people who follow me on Facebook, probably because of the radio show, but my children have made me popular on Facebook because they're funny. I'm not funny, my children are funny. I'm a single mom, so, you know, that is what it is. I'm glad that you guys didn't clap for that. I've told people that before, and they're going, oh, good for you. Like, I'm a single mom, good for me, thanks. That's awesome. No. I'm a single mom, and I have a couple of kids, and one of them, actually, I've ruined something for him for the rest of his life. I'm not proud of this, but this just happened a couple of nights ago. He comes in, he's 9 years old. He says, hey, what's for dinner? You can smell it. I say, vegetable lasagna. And my son looks at me, and his expression is something like I just kicked him in the face. And then he doesn't really know what happened, so he's kind of taken aback. So and then he gets really kind of sad for a second, like maybe he found out something really sad, like his dog died or something, you know. And I said, okay, are you okay, buddy? He's like, vegetable lasagna? You've ruined lasagna. Why would you ever do that? And he's very dramatic. I call him Drama Cakes. That's his nickname. So I'm like, settle down, Drama Cakes. It's going to be okay. He says, cakes? There's going to be cakes? Like, I'm going to redeem myself with this. And I say, no, there's no cakes. I'm just telling you it's going to be delicious. And he says, I'm not talking to you anymore. And I'm serious. He did not eat dinner. He didn't talk to me until the next morning. He did not talk to me. He just kind of walks away like very Charlie Brown-like. With the music in the background. Yeah. So sad. I'm thinking that my kid in about 30 years is going to be, lasagna is ruined for him forever. He's going to be in some Italian restaurant, and the waiter's going to say, our specials tonight, lasagna. And he's going to be like, lasagna. And have to explain to someone what happened with lasagna, the lasagna incident of 2014. I'm using some cheat sheets here, guys, because it's my first time, just so you know. Thank you. Give it up for the first time. I haven't been able to say that in a long time. It's my first time. Speaking of that, I do have a boyfriend. Just one this time. I do, and he's not like anybody I've ever dated before. We have total role reversal. I'm not talking about the bedroom, guys, okay? There's nothing to be added to the bedroom. But it's total role reversal. I love sports. I love sports. I follow the Tigers religiously. 2 more days till opening day. It's like a national holiday to me. Thank you, go Tigers. The boyfriend, not so much into sports. Actually, a couple of stories on this. When we first started dating, it was during the college football it was heating up. You know, you're gearing up for college football, and I met actually a good friend of mine. We went to a sports bar. We had some beers, and he's a guy, this friend of mine, and we're watching the game, and he says, "Hey, where's Jordan? Where's Jordan?" And I said, "Oh, he's at a play." And then I realized what I said, and so did my friend, and he went, "Oh, like a kid's play? Like his niece in a play or something?" No, it's not a kid's play. But he's great. He's fantastic, and we do have this role reversal. It gets even better. We were talking about skating. I was talking about how skating and different skaters and getting on the ice and maybe getting some ice time and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, like Christy Yamaguchi." And I said, "I was talking about hockey." And he said, with way too much enthusiasm, he said, "I was talking about figure skating." Yeah. Just the other day, speaking of the Tigers, I'm laying on the couch, going through like the news feed, trying to figure out what's going on in the world. You know, you got to educate yourself. Looking up some Tiger stuff, and I get really upset. I'm very, very worried. All of a sudden, I yell out, "Oh my God, Iglesias is hurt!" And Jordan runs from downstairs. He runs and says, "What happened to Enrique?" I love him though. I do. It's not like anything he's not like anything anybody I've ever dated. And I have got to be, I gotta tell you, I'm 35 years old, and I have got to be the worst person to date in the world. Maybe some of the other I've dated, because I went through quite a spell there. Kudos to the OkCupid Brittany, because I had an OkCupid account too. And I just said yes to everyone.
Get it, girl!
I did. I was like, okay, I will date you. Oh, you are breathing. I will date you. That will happen. I will give you one shot. Really? One of the best dates of my life from OkCupid happened to be one of the guys. He came up to me, and we met at a coffee shop, and he said, "Well, so I got into trouble for domestic violence." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, so are you the victim or the perpetrator?" "Well, no, she's a bitch." "So are you enjoying your time? Would you like to go out again?" Like, yeah, well, okay. He hasn't hit me yet. When will the beating start? My kids recently met the boyfriend, because it's getting to that point of seriousness. They don't usually meet my boyfriends because, well, usually they have domestic violence issues. But they met the boyfriend, and I was really interested in what kids would say to the man who is dating their mother. I have a 13-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. And I was kind of interested in this. What's this going to look like? Are they going to ask him these kinds of questions like, you know, do you have a domestic violence? Have you been arrested? Do you have a job? Do you like beating children? You know, some of these things. That is not at all how it went. He came over for pizza, and it looked a little something like this: rapid fire questions. What kind of gaming system do you have? Do you have a PlayStation? Do you have an Xbox? Do you have a Nintendo? Do you know what those things are? What would you do in the event of a zombie apocalypse? These are the important questions for my children, for the person who potentially could be with them for quite a while. What would you do in a zombie apocalypse? That's the question. I love it. I want to leave you with one joke, because everybody has opinions on what to do in stand-up comedy. Nobody that I know other than David, who's amazing for putting this on, by the way. Thank you. I don't know anybody else who actually tries to do this. So I was asking for a lot of advice. Obviously, Smitty gave me a whole lot. You jerk. But everybody, my friend gave me this clown nose. And she said, "This is funny." So that's a thing that's happening right now. And my mom calls me up and says, she talks like this: "Oh, hi, honey. stand up. I wanted to tell you a joke. I thought maybe you could use for your act. Okay, Mom, okay. What's the joke? Why don't blonde women like to breastfeed? Okay, Mom, my mom's telling me a blonde joke, okay. Why? Why don't blonde women like to breastfeed? Because they don't like to boil the nipples. There is dead silence on my end of the phone. And so she takes this as maybe I didn't hear her. They don't like to boil the nipples. Oh no, I heard. Do you understand? Because blondes are sometimes not as smart as other women. So they would be putting their own nipples into the boiling water. Boiling nipples. For the love of God, Mom, stop saying nipples. Please stop saying nipples. Nipples. It's a funny word, actually. We all have them. So I want to leave you with this final joke because the best piece of advice I got was from my 9-year-old who told me this joke, and this will be the biggest laugh. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Deaf guy. Thank you so much. I'm Christal.